Hello, MGTOW. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. I've calmed down a lot since my last video. I want to apologize. I may have gone a little overboard, but I do feel very passionately about these issues, and sometimes, I want to express it. I think it's a good thing to express it, but, it takes me off course, and it's really not the most effective way to communicate. So, I'll try to do a lot better with that. I'd like to talk today about the dark side of female sexuality. And I don't think that there's any denying that it exists. I've touched on this in a previous video on sexual cannibalism, comparing black widow spiders and modern females. And, I don't mean to keep repeating the same thing over and over again, but I kind of need to, just to keep the thought clear in my head, because I believe that men don't even want to see the dark, savage aspect of female sexuality. And it's there. So, it's hard for us to look at it. So that's why I kind of keep restating it. There's no denying that feminists and our society are chemically treating the boys right when they go into school. It continues onward, shaming them, drugging them, into college. They're being driven out for things as simple as good morning. Would you like to get a cup of coffee? This type of behavior is demonized on the white Western male. And I don't mean that in a racist way. I mean that the feminists and the women in our society see those men as the representatives of the patriarchy, the symbols of it, so that's who they're attacking. This behavior continues onward into socioeconomic, into the workplace, into the marriages, into the court system, into the legal system, into the political system, all throughout the government, okay? It's a non-stop narrative that states, that the men and the boys are rapists. They've been oppressing us for thousands of years. We need protection. We need extra resources. Don't let the bad men hurt us, and that's all of the white men. They're doing it to their own men. They're doing it to their own boys. Because that's where they feel safe, right? And it's also a thing of intersectionality, isn't it, right? They're not good. Yeah, they're attacking their own. And this is, feminists, this is what they do. This is what they've been doing for 50 years. They're extremely effective at it, men on all levels. Psychological, emotional, physical, biological, societal, everywhere, legal. And women in the general population just kind of smile that Mona Lisa smile and go along with it, because they know that the preemptive attack on the men and the boys is what allows them to strip them of their humanity. So then when they take away their rights, and then when they take away their property, and then when they abuse them, they're like, hey, I'm only doing it to a potential Adolf Hitler rapist. And the fact is they're doing it to 8-year-old boys. And to the men in their society that never meant them any harm and never denied them equality before the law and equality of rights in the workplace and in the social situation. So that's what we're dealing with. And I forget that because I'm a nice guy. So I have to keep restating it. Sorry about that. Now, what is it that makes the female become like this, because it's not just there, and they're not. Well, I'll get to this other aspect of it. Well, let's go back. Let's go back in time to prehistoric times, before the Flintstones, right? Hunter-gatherer society, small tribes of somewhat related, obviously, people, and a male and a female get together and mate, and she becomes pregnant. Now, what kind of instinctual drives is she going to have? What's her attitude going to be? See, she has to be competitive with that male, doesn't she? If she and that male, like she's not pregnant yet, or she's just barely along, right? And she and that male, her mate, see the same piece of food at the same time, right? And there's, nobody's got any advantage. So whoever gets it first, right? It's not some crazy collective where we're gathering all the food, where they would be gathering all the food and bringing it back to the tribe. No, they're just out there gathering. If there's any hesitation on her part to grab that food, she and her genetic line are not going to go forward. So she has to go for that food. She has to get that food before her mate does. She has to eat that food before the mate can take it away from her. And she has to defend herself in case there's any sort of repercussion. And if she can't do those things, then she can't survive and she can't reproduce. So she can do it, and she does it. And she reproduces, and she passes that competitive trait on to, her offspring. Also, let's say she's further along in the pregnancy, and her mate is, gathering for both of them. And he goes off, but he doesn't come back, right? Saber-toothed tiger. Lots of them. Woolly mammoths, right? Who knows? A giant sloth. Yeah, that's probably what got him. Yep. Anyway, so if she is not prepared to carry on without him, if she gets too upset, if she can't cope with the fact that he's gone, again, she dies, her genetic line does not continue, that trait does not get passed forward. So, she has to be able to, kind of take it in stride, losing her mate. And, since she's far along in the pregnancy, she has to be tough enough and resourceful enough to now get the support that she needs from the tribe. And if she can't, and if she doesn't, her genetic traits don't get passed on to the future, and, so she's able to do that. This is prehistoric, cave feminist now. Now she's becoming a cave feminist. And you just go on forward with it. So now she's a single cave mother, and she's encountering other males. Of course she's competing with them. Of course she's, and if males come from another tribe that she doesn't recognize, she's going to attack those males really fast, isn't she? She's going to compete with those males extremely fast, isn't she? Imagine that some of those males are like in love with her, that just they don't know why, they just want to mate with her. You think she's going to be real nice to them? I don't think so. So, that's one place where these instincts may have come from. And you can see why they would be needed. Right? But what are we looking at nowadays? What are we looking at now? Okay? It's not a hunter-gatherer society, is it? No, we've gone into, an agricultural society, and now we're into an industrial society, and now we're even slipping into a kind of informational service society, aren't we? So how are those instincts, for the woman going now? Well, they seem to be doing pretty well, don't they? It's destroying society. It's destroying the motivation of, the men in their society to be with them. And to, keep to produce and build within the society, right? But, no, they're doing pretty well. And I suggest that it is the same instincts. So if it feels like you're not dealing with, any sort of a civilized creature, No, you're dealing with her instincts. You're dealing with the savage drives that women, developed in order to survive. And now they unleash them. Those are the same instincts, they unleash that on modern civilized men and their own children. So that's the dark side of female sexuality. Let's talk about the modern woman, specifically the modern feminist. I believe that there's a weakness in the male psyche, the addiction to female sexuality. And I believe that the feminists are playing upon that. Because the instincts of the woman are going to want to, protect her offspring, right? And one of the ways that she would do that would be to driving other males out of her hunting territory and using her tribe and the tribe's aggression to control and limit the behavior of the other males and to inhibit the behavior of the other males within the tribe so that she could gain any advantage she could, having lost her mate, or having, her mate, or in today's case, divorcing the mate. So this hostility, this aggression, this instinct, you can see where it comes from. But it's gone crazy. And, how to put this mildly, if the situation that I described were to, take place, and I'm sure it did in many instances, you could see where the tribe would help the woman in that position, right? But what about a woman who doesn't have a child? What about a woman who hasn't lost her mate? Huh? What about those women? You think they could get away with that type of behavior? Do you think they could get away with attacking the males within their tribe and other tribes? And then just be like, oh, I lost my mate, so you guys have to account for this. So there's this hostile, ugly side of female nature that they needed to develop in order to survive the idea of losing their mate and surviving on their own. And they have, and there is an instinct within the male and within the tribe to want to take care of the female in that circumstance. But modern women and modern feminists have, and there is an inability within the man and modern man to even see the true nature of female nature, right? Because big boobs, big boobed monsters. He can't see it. He sees the big boobs. He doesn't see that she has all these children, that she has to destroy him, that she has to use his resources, that she can't give him any sort of human dignity or anything like that. Otherwise, it would, she wouldn't be able to attack him and use him as she's going to need to do. So it's that instinct that he's just pandered to and just gone crazy, and the males are like just dying to let themselves be consumed. And the society is just falling all over itself to take care of these women. But as I said, what about when, in the caveman feminist, cave woman feminist, what if she has no children? What if she hasn't lost her mate? How does she then get away with this behavior? I don't know. But it seems to me that that's exactly what modern women are doing. So I'm going to leave it at that for now. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Please come by again. I hope to have more content for you at that time. Thank you, MGTOW.